Fraser Weightman, a man with bags of ability, a huge amount of power. But breathing problems almost cost him everything, until he found the strength of his mind.
How you doing, fellas?
Go on, Nick. Nice to see you, mate.
Yes, and you, mate. Alright, man.
Nick Davis was the man Fraser turned to, and he would end up playing a big part in Fraser's progression. Fraser lacked confidence. He suffered with anxiety. He needed help. Nick could relate to him. He shared a passion for fighting. Nick had such a calming influence. This made it very easy for Fraser to trust him. Fraser was suffering with a breathing problem. A problem he was desperate for Nick to help him with.
On my second fight, literally by the end of the first round, I felt like I'd done 10 rounds. I felt like I couldn't carry on, I could hardly breathe. Literally felt like I was going to die, and then the thought of having to do 2 more rounds, I was just like, how am I going to do it? But I managed to just push through and get the win. But I remember after that fight, the paramedics actually came to me and like giving me oxygen and stuff like that, because I could see how much I was struggling with breathing. And then it literally started happening every fight then.
This would eventually lead to Fraser's first defeat. A humbling time for Fraser, and with his career progressing so well again, Nick felt it was important to go over the biggest low of his career so far.
Just go over that fight that you lost. It might be good to revisit that because of the reasons you now know why you lost. So what happened back then with that fight that you lost, and then we can talk about what you've learned from it, if that makes sense. So it's a while ago, I know it's
just everything on the day that went wrong really. So I was getting quite a bit of stress on the day from people, about people getting there and not being able to get there and stuff like that, and then I ended up getting rushed out to the fight. We were supposed to have like 15 minutes to warm up, and then 2 minutes later someone was like, right, come on, you gotta go.
Wow.
And sort of like you had to go there, and then so really I should have just been like, tough luck, I'm not going till I'm ready.
Yeah.
But I just sort of panicked and then went out, and then by the time I got to the ring, like my corner team wasn't even there or anything, I was just there on my own.
Wow.
And then I just wasn't relaxed enough into the fight.
And how did you perform? Because you said you were disappointed in yourself. You didn't fight.
Don't know really.
So you went the distance though, didn't it?
Yeah. I went on point. I didn't get hurt or anything like that. I just didn't really do enough. Just wasn't my usual self in there, to be honest.
What was different? And how did you feel?
I don't know. Just feeling like I was just struggling to breathe a lot of the time in it. So there's just too much tension, I think.
As a fighter, how much percentage would you say you were of yourself? So if you were fighting your best fight, it's 100%. In that fight, how many percent do you think of Fraser we saw?
Probably less than 50.
Wow. And that was just because of the stress, the panic, the anxiety. It's crazy, isn't it, how the mental side can take somebody like you.
Fit. I know I was fit because I trained hard for a good 2 months up to that fight. I mean, I always train anyway, but I had 2 months solid training. Maybe it might have even been a bit longer than that.
Wow.
So fitness wasn't the issue, just the mental side of things. Just my head wasn't in it, and it wasn't not to take anything away from the guy, but I don't look at it as he beat me. I look at it as I lost the fight.
Yeah.
So if I'd have performed good, then I would have won. But I didn't perform. That's why I lost. It wasn't because he was better.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact.
Nick reflects on the session as he tries to work out solutions for Fraser's problem.
My corner team wasn't even there or anything.
So he's saying all the things that went wrong. So what I'm doing is making notes. So we've got a strategy that if ever that happens, we've got an antidote to it. We know what to look out for.
Because you said you were disappointed.
But also, what I'm doing is I ask him a lot of open questions. So I'm getting him to give me the solution.
Talking about,
now I'm giving him some solutions.
Properly, but here you said instead of 15 minutes, you get 2 minutes. You turn up to the ring. There's not even your training.
And what I'm doing is I'm giving him all the reasons why he lost.
Stress,
so it goes into his conscious mind, so he can put it to bed really.
Nothing's more important than being focused.
So on the day, nothing's more important than being focused.
There or they're not going to be there, then that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And not focusing on people not turning up, ticket sales. He's not going to rush into a fight again. So it's all processing in the brain and taking things that happen in a bad way, changing that so in his brain it doesn't happen ever again.
Like 2 months solid training, maybe it might have been a bit longer than that. Wow. So fitness wasn't the issue, it was just...
So he's recognising there's nothing to do with his training, and that's what can happen on the day, and that's what I help people with. Because he basically failed on the day. It was the preparation on the day before going into the ring that was wrong.
Look at it as I lost the fight.
Yeah.
And now we're reframing, so he's saying he's looking at it as if he lost the fight, not that the guy beat him.
Because he was better.
Probably the most difficult thing to work with a fighter who is very down like Fraser was. That's probably the most challenging thing. And the important skill I find is you've got to really have a connection with the person you're working with. You know, whatever sport it is, I always try and find an interest in the person or their sport so I can really get inside the mind and get inside the sport. If you haven't got that connection with somebody you're working with, it's so difficult to influence them. And what I kind of class myself as is probably my best skill is I'm an influencer, an unconscious influencer. So what I'm able to do by what looks like a normal conversation that I'm having with somebody, that I can, during that conversation, I can influence their unconscious mind without them knowing into positive, motivated, resourceful states. So they get the best out of themselves, and the byproduct to that is they're happy for me to do that, because the end result is, like Fraser, you know, didn't think he could win the British title, and now we're on the road to Commonwealth and greater things. So, you know, I think that's what I do really well is and the other thing I do is I get myself into the mind of the sports person, so I fully understand what it feels like to be them, so I can create the antidote, the solution, and just help them feel amazing on the day, you know. And that's what I do, take away their worries, help them feel amazing, and then they do the rest.
Another person positively influencing Fraser was his coach Gurinder, better known as B. He feels the mixture of Nick's support and his personal coaching style has benefited Fraser massively.
It's probably the second fight when he was really heavily and really struggling. That was only in the first round. We thought it might be something to do with the illness or asthma or something like that. But it happened having time and time again. I think when he came here, I mean, obviously Nick's helped him out a lot with the mental side of things, but I think it was a lot to do with the training as well, and the training he wasn't having at the old gym. Okay. You know, I think he's got so much more confidence in himself and his training. He's kind of ironed that breathing stuff out now.
One of B's biggest traits for Fraser is his willingness to put his body on the line to give Fraser the training he requires to win the bouts he craves.
Woo! Yeah, to answer your question, has a lot. But we'll go through the pace. He's a strong athlete, you know. But I'm a former fighter myself, and you know, I know the sacrifices it takes. So doesn't matter how much he hurts me, we'll still go through the pain anyway. Even today, my shoulder's really bad, but we just go through it. Yeah. As long as he's getting what he needs, you know, I don't really need my limbs anymore. Yeah.
Nick and B's work is really starting to pay off for Fraser now, as he goes on to win the Commonwealth title.
Relaxed throughout the whole fight, just in control the whole way through, and then in the last round caught him with a jumping knee in the face, cut his face open here, and
what happened? The ref stopped it?
Yeah, the ref stopped it, but
after the ref took a left hook as well.
Yeah.
jumping, he left up the referee.
Yeah, I said that to him. Do you have to knock everyone out to win?
He was lucky that the ref stopped it, otherwise he would have been would have got hurt. So the ref did a good job, really.
What did you think of his performance, B?
Perfect. Did exactly what I was told. He knows exactly what to do anyway. But it was an absolute perfect finish to a perfect night.
Yeah.
Fraser was quick to point out the impact Nick has had on him. His career so far has been filled with highs and lows, but his lows are very much in the past. Confidence is really starting to flow now, and he's both physically and mentally stronger than ever before. He's quickly turning into the complete package. This is the biggest fight of his career so far, so can Fraser become the European champion? During the build-up, Fraser was relaxed. Many things could have unsettled him, just like they did in the past. The dressing room wasn't what he was expecting. It was loud, it was hard to focus. The fight was delayed by almost an hour.
No, I've checked how far they're behind. They're 40 minutes. You were due on to be 20 past 9, and they're 40 minutes behind. So if you keep tracking it, you should be on at 10. Well, it'll delay, won't you?
Issues like these weren't affecting Fraser this time though. He remained relaxed, he remained focused, and his determination was there for all to see. Now, fight time.
3-minute rounds of Pro K1 action for the ISKA Heavyweight Championship of Europe. By way of team respect, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Fraser.
Fraser started strongly, hitting his opponent to the floor with a huge punch. This was quickly followed up by a kick to the head that clearly affected Fraser. Fraser did everything he could to stay in the fight and battled through a tough spell really well. The break was able to give Fraser time to regroup, and then he would come out all guns blazing.
Second of round 2, the referee calls a hunt to the contest, declaring the winner by way of knockout, and now the SKA Pro K1 Heavyweight Champion of Europe, Fraser.
That's why he's the champ.